G'day everybody and welcome to The Local, your chance to find out what's going on in the world of local footy across Australia. It's all powered by Premier Data and they're doing a hell of a job too getting ready for a big local footy season. It's gone gangbusters in the last week, don't worry about that. The first couple of episodes have gone off the charts. Tell all your friends. And last week, in episode 2, we caught up with Ahmed Saad, former St Kilda player who's done some amazing things in local footy in the last couple of years. And that was nice because we went to the top of the tree, the blokes that have been in the AFL level and come back down into the local scene. But today, our local legend. Now, there's a bit to get through with this bloke. A bit to get through. There's some stories going around. There's multiple clubs involved and not necessarily his real name. Let's find out more about Scotty Houghton, who joins us on The Local. Welcome, Scotty.
Hi, Harf.
Mate, I've got some stuff to talk to you about today.
I'm sure. There's it's been a journey. Been plenty of footy clubs, plenty of awesome clubs, plenty of good people.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely lots of clubs and lots of different characters and lots of different reasons why there were so many clubs.
So tell me, take us back to the start. Like, where'd you grow up? And
Yeah.
what involvement did you have in footy as a younger person?
So growing up, we grew up in a small rural community called Savernake, so 45 k's north of Yarrawonga in New South Wales on the Riverina Highway. So Mum and Dad, or Mum's family farm, what were we, 4th generation up there on a property called Walmatta, so about 3,000 acres. I'm the eldest of 3 boys. Adrian, who's the king of podcasting, as he tells everyone.
This is an inside job.
Oh, it is true.
An inside job.
I'll stitch him up every opportunity I get. But yeah, we grew up there. So our local footy clubs in that area for us were the Pigeons, the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
Yeah, the mighty Pigeons.
So we played all our junior footy there I played there till under 15s. And then Mum and Dad fortunately gave us the opportunity to come down to Melbourne and go to boarding school. And then I landed at Xavier College in 2002. Yep. So I came in grade 10, played 10 Bs and Resis at school. Didn't grow. I was tall. At 11, I was massive.
So how tall are you now? Because you walked in before and I was taken aback.
Well, there'll be a few
Sandlands
out there that'll say this is wrong. Whenever a club signed me up, they always added an inch. So I'm officially
15'6".
Yeah. Well, one club said I was 6'11", but I'm 6'9". I'm 206, so I'm 6'9" a little bit. But my father-in-law always tells me you don't really need that little bit, do you?
Yeah.
So started there.
209, bloody hell.
Started there, but then when we came back from boarding school, I'd sort of had a bit of a tainted coach in under 15s at Yarra, and that's probably where this all started. Was if I didn't get along with a coach, I moved on pretty quick.
Right.
But I ended up going home and playing thirds for Berrigan in the Murray League at that stage. So since then they're gone over the Picola, but. Yeah, started in Berrigan where the great Tim Hargraves was brought up, where you would have played with him at Hawthorn, and then he went to Geelong.
Spent a bit of time with Huggy, more often at the tunnel than on the field. Tunnel nightclub. He was the doyen at the tunnel. He was just welcomed in with open arms every Saturday night. Huggy.
He was as a kid growing up, he was a legend to watch. He played a lot of footy at Yarrawonga and he was a superstar for Yarra. So as young kids coming through our juniors, we all go watch the senior footy and everyone loved Hargy. So, but yeah, we didn't take many of his traits. So he loved to punch on and he was a very good footballer. But it was funny. I ended up playing under him at one stage when he was coaching Mulwala. He'd left. He was playing coach at Mull and we played in a grand final in, was that 2010? Yep. After I'd come back from Perth. But came down here to boarding school, went up to Berrigan, played thirds, got my first senior game at 15 because numbers were poor and out at Berrigan. So it was at Tungamar, of all places, just south of Yarrawonga, and I'll never forget it. Like, I was pretty lanky, tall 15-year-old, but that first hit, I remember taking a mark, I don't know, wherever it was, and I got that first clip and, it hurt. So... yeah, so I then come back from home and play up at Berrigan every opportunity I got. And we got to a thirds grand final against, was it Katandra or Katunga? Katandra, who had the best team by far. There's a couple of Carlton boys that were from Katandra. Can't remember their names now. But, we lost that. Granny 80 actually played as a bottom major in that 17s grand final. So... and then it moved into Melbourne, and I finished school in 2004, And then that's where I started hop, skipping, jumping all over the state and playing everywhere.
Not just the state, the nation, as it turns out,
Yeah.
which we'll get to. So country boys often leave town and they move to the big smoke for school or whatever it is, or just to get out and have a bit of a look at the big world. The impact of community sport and local footy in integrating into that life, how important was that?
Oh, so big. So they're like all footy clubs I've been at. There's a culture, and there's good cultures. There's been some that have been pretty poor that I've been at as well. But just that camaraderie. When I was playing, it was kind of that transition from the old school into the new school in terms of fitness and all that. And I wasn't blessed with much fitness, as most of my coaches could say. I think I had the height. I thought I was pretty good below my knees, and I didn't mind giving a don't argue, but I didn't have speed, agility, pace, or anything.
Just stand the goal square and stay still, mate.
They never really put me forward, but I couldn't. I played a lot of centre forward when I got to Perth, but I don't know. It's like my golf game at the moment. All my footy was in between my ears, so
that's a different podcast. That one.
That is a very different podcast, but the local footy, and I mean, I like to think that I was much loved at most clubs that I was at, as much as I was at tons. But I got along well with everyone. It's my career. I'm in sales. I'm in networking. So I've met some absolute characters over the journey, and some blokes that you see at pubs in Melbourne, and even when I go back over to Perth, and you just reminisce, and it takes you back. Like, I've got a few boys over in Perth that I still catch up on the phone with every couple of weeks, and we just tell all the old stories of us mucking around. Not even footy, it's like out and about. And,
well, that's where it lives. That's where you learn and grow, isn't it?
100%.
Saturday night. That's the scene.
100%. So we did a bit of damage in a lot of the local bloody nightclubs here and establishments here in Melbourne. But you come back with a brown paper bag full of cash, and by the end of the weekend, it was gone. So then you're scraping to get that rent money for the following week. And me and my mates we lived in penthouses in Houghton just because we could.
Because you could.
So it was funny. And that was when I was at Baldwin. But it's local footy, and we're saying it off the top or even before it. Like, even now, like the way that the AFL's played, I used to watch every game every week. But now I'm sort of taken aback by the style. It doesn't grip me like it used to. So I tend to go down and watch a fair bit of local footy in my area. Get down and watch Baldwin still, Wanturna South, Croydon, where my son plays. So, and just the style and brand there, like they're trying to put some of these new things into the local footy. But I think the fundamentals is it's still that old style, hard hits, big bodies. So I thoroughly enjoy that style than what it currently is in the AFL.
Well, and you're a part of it too. That's what we discussed last week. You're a part of it. Local footy, you're a part of the scene.
True.
Yeah, you know the people. You're allowed out in amongst it. You're there Tuesday night, Thursday night. You're sitting there having a few tinnies on Saturday if you can as well. And you go out the huddle at three-quarter time, a quarter time. It's like you're a part of it.
You're amongst it.
Yeah, you're a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Whereas in AFL, you're a little bit distant to that. You're not really connected.
True.
So that's where local footy wins. That's why we love local footy across the nation. A couple of times you've mentioned many clubs. I'd like to know have you got a number on how many clubs you've played for throughout your time?
Well, there's a bit of conjecture with all this. I mean, Metro Melbourne, there's a lot, but I wrote it all down for Nick. I've played in about 17 jumpers.
17?
17, yeah. So that's across pre-seasons where I rolled in, didn't roll out in the main season. I had a habit of I knew the loopholes. So if I could get out before the June 30 cutoff, I sort of planted that seed, and that happened a couple of times. And there was one club I played for where my best two mates moved over from Perth, and I'd been training with Heidelberg for the whole pre-season with a good mate of mine, Mickey Finn. I played with Mickey Finn, and he's probably the best Irishman never to play AFL. Like, big, tall, 6'6", gun ruckman, runner, everything. And his boys are superstars. And they're playing with him over at Carey Park in Bunbury, of all places.
Of course you did.
Because Damien Gasper was our team manager at East Fremantle. So he said, look, you're on the fringe of East Freo. We'll send you down to Carey Park and come play with me, and I'll get you some cash. So I was like, oh, sounds shocking. And I had a ball down there with Mickey Finn and those boys. But I trained when I came back to Melbourne with Mickey Finn at Heidelberg. But they had a couple of really good ruckmen there at the time, so I was sort of on the fence with it anyway. And then my mate Macca and Alloy signed with Montmorency. So
Yep.
then I rolled down to Mont and trained with them, but I couldn't crack into that senior squad. I kicked a heap of goals in the twos and I was going pretty well. Mont's a terrible footy ground. It was as big as this studio, so it didn't really suit me.
I know it well, being a Diamond Valley boy.
Yes. So it's funny. There was a bloke there at the time, and he's probably played at more clubs than me, Dean Limback.
Oh, yeah.
So, Doggo, I left in the June 30 cutoff, went up to Stanhope in the Golden Valley, the underleague of that.
So how does this all happen? How are these transactions happening?
I went to a physio in Richmond, and the physio was working on me, got referred to by one of the boys at Mont, and then he goes, I've got a mate that's coaching Stanhope. He needs a ruckman. And I'm like, And he goes, they're paying $1,000 cash. I'm like,
where do I sign?
I've never been worth $1,000 ever. So I said, yeah. I sold myself to the bloke over the phone. And then I rolled in the door, 6'9", like, this guy's going to be a jet. I reckon I played one good game. And I felt bad.
But you took the cash.
Yeah, I did take the cash.
Done.
Oh, I gave a little bit back over the bar, but that helped with the apartment in Houghton. We're on Riversdale Road. Penthouse up there. But the story about Limback was, when I left, he got a tattoo of my name on his ass. No word of a lie. So
For any reason in particular?
He had a few on there. I don't know the backstory to the other.
We've got to get him on. We've got to get him on.
He's an absolute legend of a bloke, like a gun guy. But yeah, my nickname's Teddy, so he's got Teddy tattooed on his ass. I tried to find the photo on Facebook to send to him, but yeah, he was a ripper.
Dean Limback, we're coming for you.
Yeah, get him.
I want the list. I want the photo of the cheeks with how many names you got there, and we're going to talk about it.
He wasn't their best player, though. There's a bloke that plays out there, Fitzgerald, Deuter. And he's solely earthed. Like, I haven't seen Deuter in 20-odd years, but we still sort of text through Facebook and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what I say. Like, I moved around a lot, but I've still got friendships all over. But yeah, that was 2 clubs in 1 year. The year before was Pearcedale. That was Pearcedale, then my Whaler.
At the halfway mark, June 30.
Yeah, that's where it started. And then I went and trained it the following season. I trained, because we were living in Greensboro, I trained at Bundura. So I kept picking the best 3 clubs in the Northern Footy League. Got my head kicked in the first game against Heidelberg, and I didn't even know the bloke that King hit me, but he's like, you're a dog, you left Mont. I was like, I didn't even know who you are, mate. I couldn't get him back either.
Tight-knit community.
Couldn't get him back either. I was looking for him. I couldn't remember the bloke that hit me. So
because you were concussed, you couldn't work out who was who.
Plenty of them. And then I was close with the Cloak boys, so I got a lot of really close mates at Collingwood. Al Tuvi's one of my best mates, and Big Cam Wood. So sort of I was Beak Security. They had that group, the Beaks. They rode motorbikes.
Yeah.
But Woody rode a bloody postie bike, and he's 6'9" as well. So that was humorous. But I did the pre-season with Bundura, and then things weren't working out. So I got a call from Cozzy.
Justin Cosgrove.
Justin Cosgrove, very good friend of mine.
Mighty Ball and Tigers.
Yes, still a very close friend of mine. And he said, we're in need of a big bloke. And I said, well, I'm big both ways at the moment. I was pushing 100 and far out. I think I was pushing about 148 kegs.
Whoa.
Yeah, the boys were pushing to get me to $1.50. I didn't quite get there. But
you had a crack at it.
I did, and I think Baldwin suited a big frame like mine because it's a postage stamp as
small
well.
ground,
but I spent three pre-seasons at Baldwin under Nutsy. So you had just left.
Yes.
So I was saying to 80 over the weekend, I was saying, Harf kind of set it all up, and then they won a 3-peat, but I don't know.
I think Nutsy did a pretty good job there.
He did, and that was, God, man, Baldwin, that was elite. That was Alan Murray, Jeff Goebbels, Rennie Gilchrist, Shooter McMahon, Stevie Kenner. I'll miss a few, but that's probably the most stacked footy team I've ever been involved in. I was pretty overweight, so I played the first in the twos because I literally came in round 1.
Of course you did.
So timed it to perfection. Kicked a couple in the last minute, I remember that. And then following week played in the ones, and then they sort of said to me, you got to go get some run in the legs, get this. So
It's a bit late when you get in the round 2.
yeah, I came. Well, Nick Smith was injured at the time,
Oh, yes.
so Smithy had done. I don't know, he was made of glass, Smithy. But
Now he's involved in WWE.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And UFC.
He wouldn't be throwing anyone
No,
being
he's a
thrown.
beautiful man,
He's
though.
a great guy. Like, he's solid there. So he was the ruckman, but he was injured, so he was biding his time. And then I came in, I think I played maybe the last 10 or 12 games. And I started to get going. So I was rucking against Luke Van Reenen from Brizzy.
Yep.
He and I used to have some good tussles, and even better bloke. Like, always loved having a beer with him after the game. And Johnny Wynn was the ruckman for Norwood. He was a superstar, but he was 5 foot nothing, but he'd stand on my head. The king bloke over at South Croydon. So that was fun footy, and you'd have Al Murray, Budge'd stand on my head in the goal square nearly every week. Like, he was a lot of opposition players didn't like Budge because Budge was a hard nut in and under tough. But to play with him and the person in the family, like Matty, his brother, came along and played as well. Matty's solid earth as well. Like, those two boys are the best two boys as a 1-2 punch that I reckon I've played with in my long tenure.
Well, he's already got onto me, Budge, on
has.
Instagram and said, you need to talk to me. I'm the goat of Baldwin. I've got some great stories, so we'll be coming for you, Alan Murray.
Get him. He's I saw him at the Phoenix basketball not long ago, and we had a great catch up. But yeah, he's a ripper. But that whole community, you know Baldwin well, like, that was an elite group of people.
So Baldwin's great, the Eastern Footy Netball League these days. Talked about the country footy up with Yarra and Berrigan and Mulwala. And then you got West. You talked about being in West.
Yeah.
How did you go West?
Yeah, so
how does that happen? June 30?
Pardon?
Was it June 30?
No. This was before I worked out the loopholes. So I finished school at Xavier. I'd played Old Zavs and then Uni Blues, and I'd had a pretty good season. One of the best coaches I had over the journey was Stephen Carroll. So Stevie Carroll was our under-19s coach, but I think he coached at senior level at Uni Blues prior. And he was awesome. Like, he played me at centre-half forward, and I kicked a lot of goals that year, and I was pretty fit as well. So, I thought I was, and then I got to East Freo. So our cousin, so mum's cousin, so our second cousin, Chris Smith, played for Sydney.
Right.
But he was on East Freo's list for, he was with Wowie and all those boys back before they got drafted. So I went over there at the start of 2017. So I'd never been on a plane, country boy, never been on a plane. So my old man Diesel, Dave, we jumped on a plane, flew over to WA, and I thought, this is the best thing ever. Flew in, stayed at the Trade Winds down on the East Freo foreshore there.
Nice.
Had a few frothies down at the Left Bank Hotel when we got in, and then I met with a guy called Kim Barrett. So Kim Barrett was the player manager for East Freo. We had a horrible coach, a senior coach that time, and Dad told me at the time, be very wary of that bloke, and it was and you know the name. His name's Dave Dunbar.
Oh, double agent Dave Dunbar.
Yeah, definitely double agent. Hated me for some reason.
He was the spy for Kenny Judge.
He was.
At Houghton. He'd go and
was.
do the spying of the team's training.
He was.
And we called him double agent Dave.
Yeah, he was off-putting. I don't know. He had this. I don't know if you weren't in his little clique. He hated me for some reason because I think I walked into the club and became best mates with about 15 blokes off first day. Lived with a group. I rocked up at a house. And Kim put me in a job. This is how I got into sales. They gave me a job at Office National in Burragoon, and I became a salesperson there.
Right.
And I've been in sales ever since. So, Kim put me in a house with 3 other blokes, and I literally slept on the floor on a fold-out mattress for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, and it was the Burrangate brothel where we lived. It was the most debaucherous house you could ever live in.
Wow.
Yeah. It was nuts, but it was probably the
best.
As
a man your size, sleep on the floor for 3 years.
Well, it was easy because I don't fit in a bed anyway, mate. So they're not hanging out of the bed; they're just hanging out on the floor. But
by the way, you need to get double agent Dave Dunbar on a footy trip. He's very good in a footy trip.
Oh, he didn't like me, but I'm sure he's a good guy. He shafted a couple of our mates that were getting drafted. Liam Anthony, very good mate of mine. There's a big group of us. We're all the same age, 19, 20, playing at East, and. Yeah, we're all still really close now. We play in a fantasy footy draft thing that we do every year, and just love it. So yeah, that's how I got there. Chris Smith got me there. I came over, and the nickname Teddy came from.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the head trainer, Marty, was over at Freo for a few years. He came in and they were introducing me, and they said, "Oh, this is Scott." And he said to my old man, he goes, "Next time you come over, he won't have the teddy bear look," because I had that bit rounded shape. And it was actually Harry Taylor who played at Geelong. He was still at East Freo at that stage. He heard the whole convo. So the very first contest, the kick was Teddy, 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 Teddy. So then it stuck.
That's good from Harry.
Yeah, he's a legend of a bloke too. So yeah, he played senior footy all that year, and I didn't get a crack in the resis there until probably the second half of the year. I played a few games in the twos for East Freo. I was playing at Bull Creek Leaming.
The fact you remember all this stuff is hilarious. All the names and all the people.
Yeah,
it must have had a huge impact on you.
Yeah, I loved it. And like, as much as you'd say I was a bit of a journeyman, but like hop from club to club, like I really did get involved in every club that I was in. I wanted to get to know the people, and more the people outside it. Like some of the people you still see now, like the old blokes that were running the bar, doing the line marking. They're there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're leaving at 10 o'clock at night, and they're probably still there having a beer after that. So, there's some rippers out there. It's not just the players; it's everyone else. But so Perth, and then I ended up playing state footy for the under-23s for WA.
Nice.
Went to South Australia, played all of 6 minutes. Mum and Dad drove with my grandparents from Yarrawonga to South Australia to watch me play. And
for 6 minutes?
Yeah, I had a bit of I'd call it white line fever, but I had a bit of a mouth, and believe it or not, I can talk. I gave it to a bloke, and then I come off, and I don't know, someone said something. I flipped the bird at the whole bench, and then all the board of directors for WA footy Amos said, "Don't put him back on." But I was best on that night. So
you got the vote.
I made it up on the night. Like they were all getting into me, all these boys on the trip. We're going on the bus out to Glenelg to the Grand. They were all giving it to me. "You're the shittest fool, you're worse." And I said, "I'll follow it up tonight." And then I got best on the very next day. We're on the bus going to the airport. But it was a journey. That Perth was great. Perth's completely different to Melbourne footy. Big, expansive grounds. Yeah. So you got some good fitness, but by the time I got back to Melbourne, I'd sort of leaked off the training regime, and I was eating the same amount after training 3 days a week, and that's why I blew out so quick. But
I know the feeling. It's okay. It happens. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm keen to know, how many times have you played for a club under a different name? Because blokes like you're journeyman types. You would have done some alias action, no doubt.
Here in Melbourne, probably 3 or 4. Because we wouldn't make fun.
Why do you do that? How did it get to that point where you're playing under somebody else's name?
Oh, well, you go to boarding school and you're in amongst all the Xavier boys, and then someone would go, "Oh, we're short a bloke. Can you come and roll out with us?" Oh, yeah. But I stand out. So
that's a good point.
I got caught.
Yeah,
I didn't get caught out on it, though. But good mate of mine, good Melbourne supporter, the Noonans, Paulie, his brother got me to play for Wattle Park or someone out at Deakin. And I think it was shit standard. I don't want to pump myself up. I think I kicked 3 or 4 early. And then they're like, "You got to sit on the bench." I was like, "Why?" And they go, "Well, they're going to find out that you're not registered here." I was like, "Well, okay." So, and then I was registered under Houghton Amos, but I went there for a little bit as well. I've been everywhere. Well, I actually forgot about them.
I was thinking before, that's one of the 17 clubs. Yeah. 17 jumpers you got at home somewhere, which is quite something. And we're going to put this challenge out to our audience too, to find somebody who's played more than 17 clubs. So we want to find out who's played in the most clubs across the nation in local footy. Tell us who they are, and we'll have a chat to them here on the local. The best people in footy, you talked about this before, it's not necessarily the players, it's the people around the club, the volunteers, the administrators, people that put it together, just the characters who just come and watch are a part of it. Is there one person or a couple of people that stand out in your time in local footy?
Yeah, I finished off down in the West Gippy Footy League playing with Cooey Rupp. So I played balling for 2 seasons, 2 seasons at Wani South, and there's some awesome people at Wani South. Like Johnny Albert was a strapper. He was a great guy. Teeks, who was the assistant coach, and then Matty Clark was a ripper down there as well, and he's been so successful as a coach. But I reckon Cooey Rupp, there was a guy called Gary King. He was the head of everything down at Cooey, and you just roll up country town, and he just always greets you with a smile, always gets you involved, and then it always like him and Paul Johnson. So probably Paul Johnson's probably him and Kingy are probably on par. Like Paul, far out, he could just ignite a crowd. He was so like him. Like Paul Johnson was awesome. Like they were both so accommodating to mum and dad. So on the back of my footy career, Mum and Dad didn't miss many of my games in Metro Melbourne. They'd drive 3.5 hours on a Saturday. They'd get in the car from the farm and drive down and watch me play. They never did anything with the boys. But,
it was just you.
A didn't play, but I was pretty fortunate. Mum and Dad were awesome. But they ingrained themselves in the club as well. My old man's a lot like me. Like we love a chat. So you get to know everyone in the clubs and everything. But yeah, probably Paul Johnson number one, and then Gary King down at Cooey-Rupp. But they were gentlemen as well. Like they were just good people person. But they brought everyone in. Like
that's the key, isn't it? Local footy, that's the key. Make everyone a part of it.
There's cliques at all clubs, but I guess the best club in terms of having no cliques and having just one club was probably Wanty South. It didn't matter if you were not getting a game in the twos or you were the best player in the ones. I think. That group was the biggest, like the closest group that I ever played with. But Cooey-Rupp was great. Like, I guess the pressure was off me at that stage because we just had William, or were having William, our eldest, and back to country footy. It was the old style. You could still clip a bloke behind play, and you could get away with anything down there. But it was probably honestly the best footy that I'd played as well.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think...
So how long ago was that?
Finished there in 2017.
Right.
But I think the pressure was off by that stage. It's like, well, I'm at the end. Like I wasn't planning to go to 40 or anything like that. I just wanted to go and have some fun. The cash helped as well. But I played under a bloke down there, the Collins boys. Ben Collins was the coach, and he had his brothers there as well, so Mitch and Dave. Dave Collins is honestly probably the best midfielder I've ever rucked to. Just every time you were in the air, you just knew exactly where we'd be and you'd be there. Like, I think over the journey, I've made so many good friendships out of footy across so many footy clubs. But I guess the only people that don't like me are probably those little mids that I couldn't get to the spot I was hitting to. So those little buggers. But we had some good ones. Like Rennie.
Here you are in action. Look at this. Look at this. What jump is that?
That's a Cooey-Rupp jumper.
Is that Cooey-Rupp? Yeah,
right. So that's against Nirram South at Nirram. That's like a coliseum, that ground. That was sick because you're all sitting on top. There's a cliff face, as you can see behind.
Yep.
But, that was my first season down at Cooey. So about the only time I jumped, I reckon.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad jump for a bloke.
But look at how
6'9"
skinny.
start.
I was gaunt back then. That was post-wedding, and then I was running flat out at that stage. I was looking pretty good. I struggled to get back to that.
No, that's a recruiter's dream, that photo. Yeah. You're getting noticed for that sort of stuff. Mate.
Yeah, I picked these photos. so 80 didn't pick. I picked these.
We've got any other photos?
Yeah,
let's have a look at some of the other ones you've sent through.
Oh, you get the one of me. There's me at under 12s. That's our dad, Dave. Look at how tall I am.
Which one are you? Oh, you're the big bloke. Yeah, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
That's with the under 12s at Yarrawonga.
Right, that's the early days.
That was there's
the Devils.
Yeah,
South.
There's Teeks and Jakey Dean. So Jakey Deans is still rolling around. He's a gun ruckman, So I think he's 31, 32 now. He actually played it up at the Buffaloes in Darwin this year as well. So they're a great family too, the Deans and the Teakles. Like Steve was our assistant coach in that flag. I embellished the story. I think we were 4 goals down. I say I was 6 in the last quarter. And I'll never forget my wife's uncle came to watch, and we'd kicked 2 goals 10 to 3/4 time, and whatever it was. So they had a healthy lead, and he started walking to the car, and he got to the 50, we kicked the goal. He got to behind the goals, we kicked the goal, and we were at East Burwood Reserve, and then he got to the car, and he heard another goal. He's like, I better walk back. And that season, like, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I was a paid player, and mentally I was shit that whole season. But that grand final, I played 1 quarter of footy, and it was that last quarter of that grand final. So I'd probably call myself the Tom Boyd in that game. And then the following season I was rubbish. So Yeah,
right.
that's
When
a,
it
that's
mattered,
a
mate,
pretty
you were
good
there.
memory though.
You were there when it mattered.
Yeah, well, I played at 17 clubs, and that. Oh yeah.
Is that you getting punched up?
Yeah, I made the Shep News in that. So I got thrown over the fence. I gobbed off to the bloke on the right, and then the other bloke came from behind. So I thought, I'll have a crack. And then they threw me over the fence, and one of our supporters got out of the car and punched one of them.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so good bloke. I bought him a beer after the game, but we won that game.
Did you win the fight?
No, I'm on the ground in another photo, lying there holding my head, trying to get a free kick, trying to milk it. But yeah, I kicked 1 goal 8 that day. I think that was terrible. They were just, when you're just missing and they're just left and right. I think we won by 6 points, and then we played. I think we played Lancaster in the grand final. I played in a lot of grannies. I've only won 1.
Really?
Yeah, so I missed ball ones 3.
Right.
Yeah, I was on the fat bus and I compound dislocated my finger against Scoresby, so I missed that. Yeah, there we go.
That's over the fence.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. And they were a great club, Stan. I think I crippled their whole town with the amount of money I took of them. But, yeah, they were great people. Like, all country footy and local footy, there's not you got bad eggs everywhere, but the majority of them that are involved in it, they're awesome. So, yeah, there was a bit. Oh, there I am.
Is that Freo?
There's Teddy. Yeah, that's me.
There's Teddy. Look at him.
Tips.
Look at him.
I did pretty well in Perth.
What a rooster.
I did pretty well in Perth.
I can imagine with your form on the field, I'm sure.
I went over there at 6'7". I came home 6'9".
Right.
Don't know whether
is that just the hair?
Nah. I actually shaved it before I came back. But
Handsome rooster.
yeah, well, I'm getting old now.
That's what.
There's a good photo of me. That's down Carey Park, playing against. That's against Margaret River, the wine country.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you've done the journey, mate. You've been around for a while and you've done great things. So we talked about some of the characters. Before we sort of close it up, the best player you've played with?
Oh,
I want one. Put yourself out there.
just one.
Just one. The best player
I
you've
mentioned
played
Dave Collins earlier. Deese was in their Player of the Century.
with.
He's not one though. It'd have to be Al Murray, and he'll love me saying
will
that.
love
He
you
will
saying
love
that.
just so hard at it. Could find space. There's a lot of boys at Baldwin that could get that number one. But yeah, I'd reckon Budge. But he was just such a good bloke to play with as well.
Yeah,
you knew if I clipped someone, because I was a bit of a hothead. If I clipped someone, I knew Budge would come and back me up, or vice versa. I got sent off a lot. Never got suspended, but got sent off a lot.
Never been suspended.
Well, no,
I'm surprised. Hang on a second.
So
you can't backtrack on that.
I can a little bit. I took the week for, it was Cooey Rupp. It was actually my last season. I put my arm up in the ruck like this to go and tap, and the bloke ran into my elbow. And they
Ran into your elbow.
Yeah, he ran into it. Well, he was too small, and he ran straight into it. But I wouldn't call it. Yeah, I wanted to go to the tribunal, but Gary King wouldn't let me. So he probably loses that mantle as number one. But yeah, I got a lot of yellow cards. Got a few reds too. But more, I don't know, I'd give it to someone and then I'd give it to an umpire. And
It's bad policy, that. Yeah.
80 can
That's
back
bad
that up.
policy to give it to the umpires. I don't really like that.
Nah. We had some poor umpires though.
So when you all break it down and summarise your time in local footy, what's been the greatest part of it?
Oh, it's just what we said off the top, like just the people that I've met over the journey. Like you talk about Cozzy and all these guys, like I still play golf with a lot of these guys, a lot of the young kids at Cooey Rupp as well, like the Voss boys and all that. Like they're all into their golf now. So I've still got all these connections. The one thing I really do love is when I walk back in on a Saturday to Baldwin or to Wani South, everyone comes up to how are you, how you been? And I do the same to them. It's really nice to it's just the connections that you'll have over the journey. Like there's some bloody rippers out there across 17 clubs.
17 clubs.
17 clubs. There's some characters, and it's more the stories. Like we
It's a lot of
reminisce.
meat trays. It's a lot of meat trays, 17 clubs.
I didn't win any. You didn't get much if you were getting paid, because
That's fair.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to tip a bit back over.
That's
but
fair.
nah, just the connections. Like I've still got a lot of friends from it, and now my son's playing at Croydon Footy Club. Like there's blokes that I played against, like Brian Cook's son.
Oh, yeah.
Cookie's down there, so his son Kai, and I guess what I'm really looking forward to now in my post-footy career is being that volunteer that we talked about earlier and helping out the club and being there when Williams starts going through the ranks of footy. So, yeah, local footy's the best. I think if we didn't have it, and the footy in Melbourne's so strong, like from Amos all the way through to even like outer east and all that, I think there's always a good game of footy on somewhere in Melbourne, and it's only 20, 30 minutes away.
And the season's on the doorstep, so there'll be plenty of those through 2026, mate.
Big
Great
time.
to relive your amazing career. How you describe amazing's up to you. Amazing career in local footy through the last 25 years or so, mate. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. I'm lucky to get on.
Yeah, you are.
I'm very lucky to get on.
You just know someone in the right places. So we've learned early doors. Great to have you, mate. Scotty Houghton with us. He's a local legend. If you've got a local legend, we need to talk to. And if you can break the 17 club barrier that Scotty has executed through his time in the world of local footy, we want to know about it. Tell us on the socials. Comment wherever you can. We'll find it if you get to us, and we'll find out more about the local legends on The Local.